and we are also ready to respond should Pakistan still behave irresponsibly. Vineet.
But Pathikrit, is Pakistan going to take that chance? From what we are hearing through sources and of course through a number of platforms across media echelons, is the fact that Pakistan realized that they are at no stance to go against India aggressively as they had hoped to, and the only option they perhaps would have been left with is the nuclear option, and that too would have been neutralized by India in some way or the other. And of course the terrorist organization which Pakistan itself has helped create would have taken over and used those tactical or non-tactical nuclear weapons to Pakistan's disadvantage. And that is why the desperate call by the DGMO yesterday at 3:35 p.m. and the cessation of hostilities at 5, the apparent cessation of hostilities at 5.
No, Vineet, it's not that suddenly the Pakistanis have become very concerned about what would happen to our nuclear weapons, if it falls in the hands of the terrorists. That has been the concern of the Americans for more than 15 years now, especially after Osama bin, or rather mostly
but
after
we did
Osama
destroy, but we did destroy military installations close to their nuclear arsenal, Pathikrit. That is no small feat. That is no small feat.
No. I am not saying that we haven't done that. I'm only saying it's not that suddenly the Pakistanis have got concerned that the terrorists will get it. There is an SOP of United States of what to do in a situation like that. That is one thing. But the only thing I'm saying is this: the Indian government, the Indian armed forces have done a splendid job in terms of showing the level of asymmetry that exists between the capabilities of Indian armed forces vis-a-vis that of Pakistan. So the bluff they had, has been exposed. Secondly, the nuclear bluff has also been exposed. It has been told to them by demonstration of what can be done. But Pakistan being Pakistan, we are dealing with a malignant tumor, especially the military establishment of Pakistan. If we presume, and I don't think the government has any illusion about it, that Pakistan will mend itself, they will not. They will find other means to do something, even including the terror options. That cannot be ruled out. Look at what they tried to do probably within 2 hours after the ceasefire was announced. One may say that some rogue local commander may have done it, but swarm drone attacks required specialists, and it was happening across the spectrum from Gujarat to Jammu. So I think they will only buy some time. They will try to heal, recover, replenish, and do the needful again from their perspective. So I think that's the reason the Operation Sindoor has not been called out. And I think we know where has to be done. As I completely agree with General Asthana, maybe there can be some debate whether one more day should have been given to the armed forces to do a little more. But it's always a challenging decision to exit a conflict. That is a very politically challenging decision. But let me tell you, the threat of terrorism is not over. And the potential possibility of Pakistan using a third country in our neighborhood, probably in the eastern neighborhood, which is right now in a very boiling situation.
You can name that country. Why aren't you naming that country?
Oh, yes, it is Bangladesh. No, I'm not cagey about naming it. It is Bangladesh. We have a huge threat from the eastern part of India, which is Bangladesh. And there is also a threat from the 0.5 front. So when we are talking about a full-fledged conflict, it is not just about dealing with Pakistan in a kinetic conflict. There are other means, and there is an internal issue that has to be equally addressed. So for the government of India, it is only the beginning of the conflict. It is not the end. And I think everybody in the government, in the armed forces are equally aware of it. That's why, you may call it, it's just an SOP. All the paramilitary and central police forces and every government were sent clear-cut instructions of what is to be done. The internal challenges or the challenges of the 0.5 front or the terrorists coming via Bangladesh, especially the kind of rogue elements that were released from jail. And remember, the ISI people actually went near the chicken neck. They were taken by Bangladesh government in the recent past. There are elements of allegedly from LT who are there in Bangladesh, deeply entrenched themselves. So if some people are upset why this war has suddenly stopped or whether the government should have done a little more, well, that opportunity will be given by Pakistan very soon. It's only a matter of time. But I think the kind of resilience, patience, strategic restraint the government showed and the armed forces have shown professionalism, it is commendable. It is always a matter of debate whether a little more should have been done or not, and that debate will continue. It is up to the government to sell that political communication to its own voters that what they did was the right one. But I think we are far from over so far as the conflict is concerned. The 360-degree conflict has only started. Pakistan may be imploding, but it's not yet over. That threat remains. Back to you.
Ambassador